good win for our guys. Go on the road and play a real good basketball team that's extremely disciplined and experienced, and to build the lead and then kind of see it kind of falling apart, then figure out a way to hold on for dear life and depend on our defense and then making some free throws and executing. Coming down to half there, we didn't score a lot in the second half. We stood around a little too much, like Sin said, but our bigs just didn't give us a presence at the rim today. They Mendoga started off well, but give them credit. Noko protects that rim, and we were trying to attack the rim. He just wasn't giving us the rim. Give him credit now. Don't, sometimes we tend to blame the people that don't make the positive play, but the guy on the other side's pretty good too. So it's give them credit.
Frank, late in the second half, especially when you guys are kicking it around the wing, was that by design to build clock, or was it just because the bigs could not get room?
Yeah, we had to go to a smaller lineup, and so we were trying to get deeper on the clock. We still couldn't execute something that we've been running for 4 years at the end of the clock, and that's disappointing. But it's all right, when we didn't fall apart. We figured out a way to get deep in the clock, which then allowed our defense to set. I thought we took one bad shot in coming down the stretch, and that was that 3 by Sindarius. You can't take that. He knows that. I'm not trying to kick him. He looked at me as soon as he shot it. He said, "My bad." When the other team's on a run, that's not the time to do that. And but it is what it is. We buckled in defensively, got some stops, and defensive rebounding continues to be a problem for us now. It's we got to clean that up. We're going to end up getting beat because of that.
Frank, Lamo had like 3, I think 17-point games in a row in the last 4.
And you ask him when you see him.
Frank, obviously it's the first true road game, and they got tested down the stretch. How proud of you for the resilience for the first time they've really been tested in that regard?
Great, Brian. Great. I couldn't. We practiced the last 2 days in practice. The guys were phenomenal. Discipline, their spirit, their execution. Defensively, I thought we were phenomenal. Not good, phenomenal in practice. And we went out and played that way in the first half. I thought defensively we were real good. And then the last 2 minutes of the half, we gave them life. We stopped playing intelligently and aggressively, and we gave them life. And you can't go on the road and give a good team life, and that's what we did. And they went. I knew it at halftime that we won't come out in the second half. We're going to be in a fist fight, and that's exactly what we got ourselves into. And but still, you go on the road and you win, you do cartwheels on the highway on the way home. It's road wins, and especially against teams coached by Brad. If you can figure out a way to win at Clemson's building, technically, I guess that's what this is this year. You got to take it and be excited about it, you guys.
In that same regard, how nice was it to hear so loud game cheers and everything, so many game show?
It was great. It was great when I walked out and before the game and the introduction started, and you could hear that we had a presence in the building. That's fun to watch. That's fun. It gives our players get excited about that. When you go on the road and your fans show up on the road, that shows your players that your fans care. And that was a whole lot of fun to hear that. And even at the end to hear that Gamecock cheer, that was fun. We've come a long ways. I remember playing at Clemson 2 years ago. I think there was one person screaming Gamecocks, and it was me.
Frank, 10-0, I know it's a big number. Haven't been done here in like 82 years. Do you allow yourself to even think? Kind of think, hey, we're off to a pretty good start, and we can keep it going?
If you told me that helps us beat St. John's, I feel good about it.
Oh, well, they just lost to Incarnate Word.
By 22.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. If you choose Team Sunday and then lose to Incarnate Word.
Imagine basketball.
Yeah.
Still, regardless, if we can figure out a way to win number 11, and being 10-0 helps us do that, I'll tell you what it does. It picks the guy's spirits up. If we had to go up to St. John's after having a 20-point lead and losing, it deflates you a little bit. It would have been harder to go up into Connecticut. The game's in Connecticut. I was going to say Rhode Island. Go to Connecticut and and be ready to go. This game here, win or lose today, that challenge that Clemson gave us, that's real good for us. And we got to stay in the moment. You know, we can't get wrapped up with, when the season's over, we can look back at all this stuff that's happening, and then we can tell our guys, you know what, we're proud of you guys, man. You know, we tell our guys we're proud of them because of how they work every day. The records and all this stuff, we're trying to play in the month of March. That's what we're trying to do. I don't want to sit at the establishment across the street from the arena back home and watch basketball in March. I'd like to be coaching basketball in March, and those kids have worked their tails off for that to happen. But I know this, if I worry about March or I worry about 10-0, it won't happen. We got to worry about the next day.
Frank, looking at Mike shooting those last 2 free throws, is that what you want, to have a senior on the line? And that's it?
Yeah, I knew Mike wasn't going to miss. Mike's mindset this year is unbelievable. He's in a real good place mentally. You know, if there's one guy on our team I want to shoot those free throws right there, was Mike. And give PJ credit now. He missed a one-on-one, then he came back and made both, you know, the next trip down. And, you know, give him credit too now. It's, but, you know, Mike's in a real good place for us right now.
Any more questions?
Frank, you're in a close game, and probably the smallest guy on the floor, PJ Dozier, gets 3 huge rebounds at the end. What's that going to say about your team's work?
That's why I said defensive rebounding is going to be an Achilles heel for us if we don't fix it here soon. You know, when your point guard, who's a freshman, is the guy coming up with defensive rebounds in a game where you're on the road and you got to go win, give him credit. But those other guys need to kind of go home and say, you know what, I can't believe I didn't do my part there. But great plays by PJ. You know, for a freshman to be playing the hardest, take on the hardest job on a basketball team, which is point guard, and be on his first true road game and have the courage and the discipline to get those rebounds and then make the one-on-one that he made after missing one, shows a lot about who he is as a kid. And that's what's great about coaching him.